Thank you. Let's see. What is the coolest project or assignment you've worked on, maybe in grad school or in your current field?
Well, definitely in the current field, it's much more fun. So the coolest one, I would say that seismic project that I'm currently working in is really cool. It has some very cool pictures, especially when you go to the Fourier space. You get some really amazing patterns. So this is something I'm really enjoying. So the seismic data reconstruction is something that's my favorite one.
Thank you. So I don't know if anybody here is a graduate student, but I'm pretty sure we're all undergrads. You've given us a bunch of advice. Is there like one lasting or like one overall piece of advice you'd give us just as we go through and complete our undergraduate degrees?
Oh, one piece of advice. I would say it's important to have, to update your knowledge, like know um, what kind of skills the industry is requiring. Something like high-tech technology, you need to be more curious about what is new in the field.
Gotcha, that's great. I'm sure that's something that we can all do better and we can all stick to. So how easy or difficult would you say it is to get into the mathematics field in general, data science field?
You mean in industry?
Yes, sir.
It's not very difficult as long as you know your coding well. Because if you are a mathematician, you should be good with numbers, and the projects should not be that difficult for you. Because people from other departments may not be so comfortable with numbers. They may think the project is difficult for them, but it's not so difficult for you. So it's as long as you take some simple coding course that's dealing with data, which has a lot of examples, you will be good. Before joining the industry, I took just one online course. It was even not official. It was either Coursera or Udemy. It was a machine learning course where there were just two languages, R and Python, and 15 different data sets, 15 different projects. You go through each project. I spent maybe 1 month for that, and it was good enough.
Does anybody else from the class have any questions, anything they want to ask? Anything that I haven't asked that you all submitted?
Yes.
So you mentioned it was a hard decision choosing between academia. Looking back now, did you make the right decision?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty happy. Well, I miss teaching a little bit from time to time. I'm like, I having flashbacks like, oh well, teaching was also fun, but I'm happy that I am doing industries, so it was good for me, for my family, and it's nice to do something different, to meet friends. But I keep an eye on academia as well. To me, my dream job would be working in industry and teaching a course in maybe like adjunct for professor. I know some of my colleagues are doing that. Or maybe when I will retire, I'm pretty sure I'll go to the college to teach.
So I have one question.
Oh yeah, sure.
Do you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So how do you handle communicating through other departments, engineers, because you have a really like solid math background. So how do you explain the mathematical things to people in other departments? Like, what is that challenge that you came across?
Well, yeah, the main challenge is that if people from other departments don't feel comfortable with some statistical model, if they don't know how it works, they may be not willing to use that. So I try to break it down to simplest examples, just to show them how it works. For example, recently I did some statistical modeling for estimation of some non-productive time, or it was some workover for some equipment, and I designed a tool using R so that the people from different departments, they can just play with that tool by inputting scrolling different parameters, and the tool is giving them the prediction, so they can see, okay, if I increase this quantity, whatever some parameter value, your output will change, and by how much. I still have some difficulties in the sense that they may think that the statistical model is linear. They say, okay, if I increase this parameter by 10, my output will change by 1. If I increase it by 100, it will change by 10. But no, it is not how it works. Or, for example, if you show them observations and prediction plot, the cross plot, and there is a diagonal, if like your goal is to have the same observation and prediction, so you need to be on the y equals 2x. But the reality is that you will have slightly smaller slopes, that when you observe some very large number, the odds are that the prediction will be not so large, and they will telling me, can we like adjust this curve to make it fit? And I feel no, it's not possible, because the model is non-linear. You cannot just turn it and make it match. So yeah, there may be some difficulties, but we have very respectful conversations. They listen to me. I learn something from them, and but it really depends. It's depends on your individual, on your personal qualities a lot. So you need to be very patient when talking to people with different background.
I have another question. Is that
Sure.
okay?
Oh yeah.
So apparently you have 3 mathematicians from Iowa State hired by your company. So what is the deal with that? I mean, do you have other mathematicians also from other places, or is it's a full pack of like Iowa State people?
Well, yeah, it's not a coincidence, yeah, because we in touch. I was in touch with Jesus after the graduation, so I'm grateful to Jesus Martinez for introducing me to this, and he was in touch with Reza Rastigar before, and well, I know Reza pretty well too. But we do have mathematicians from different schools. We have a Georgia Tech graduate. We have a few people from Utah and from Texas. But yeah, Iowa State is represented pretty well in our data analytics team. So it's not a coincidence.
One more question. So how big is the pool of mathematicians in that company? Like how big? Like 10%, 5%? What is that number?
Oh, well, we have pretty small team. When I joined, it was like 10 people, and in our office we have a few hundreds of people, so we are pretty small. Recently we merged with Anadarko. It was in the news earlier this year, another Texas company, and they have like 30 data scientists. So we are in the process of getting together, figure out who will join us. So as a group, maybe it will have about 20 people but not many mathematicians. A small percentage so far.
All right. Any question from the audience? Anything? Any question from Ryan? You're running out of all of your questions, right?
Okay.
All right, so I think that's the end of it, right? So since we don't have any question, we just thank you again to join us. And this is sort of like the pilot event for us because this is the first time we're trying an event of this sort. So we were also curious about like how this would all roll all the way for 50 minutes. But I think it was smooth ride, so everything went well from our side at least, I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you very much for joining us. Bruce, do you have any question or do you have a few words to add?
Participating. I think this is it's a really neat event. It's a little surprising to me that we don't do more of this type of communication. It's so easy. I mean, I'm standing here in my office wearing pajamas. No, I'm not. But you know, this did not require us to make travel plans and things like that. So it seems like to me a great way. And it seemed like every one of us who had questions got a chance to pipe in and ask them. So I think it's a great format and hope to see us do more of it.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's all thank the speaker again. So thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed the conversation. Yeah.
Keep working for the rest of the day, or you're going home?
Oh, I'm going home. We finish at 3:30, so yeah, we are done.
All right. Have a good day. So
thank you so much. Yeah.